Welcome back everyone. This week we're going to get back into some old school stuff. I'm going to go through and rig up a few different mackerel rigs. Also, another question I keep on getting asked is a lot of new guys are getting into fishing and they're not sure on how to rig up some dead baits and low bait rigs for mackerel. They want to change from just running lures all the time. They want to try something different. So what we're going to do is just refresh some old videos and get stuck into making a couple of different mackerel rigs. Okay, and in this one we'll actually show you as well how to set up a wog head, because people still don't know how to use this thing. Okay, there is a few different ways, but I'll just show you one I use. And we're going to go back to the old faithful dead bait rigs, the trawling. You can use these trawling behind down riggers, just behind the boat as is. The boat's just in and out of gear, and I'll explain how to use these for best success. And we'll even get back to the old simple bait rig, trawling a low bait. Okay? Anyway, let's get into it. We'll start off with going back to the old bait rigs. Okay, as you can see here, you've got ganged hooks. On the first hook we've got the net lead, nose cone, little squid, and I usually run about a 44 pound wire, so a mason or something, 44 pound, single strand, okay, for this rig. And the beauty of these rigs are, like this one here, you can see it's got 4 hooks, it's quite long. I set this one up for garfish, so this one's a really good one for gar. I think they're like a 5.0. The hooks we run too, guys, for making these rigs are 7 6s in your mustard. They're a nice soft hook, so you can actually open your eyes with a pair of side cutters. I'll do one in a minute, show you, side cutters. And close them up. They're just a nice hook to work with, and they're straight, they're in line, so there's no, you don't want offset for this, you want all your hooks in line so your bait tracks straight. Okay, and net leads, we'll explain that one in a minute too. So you can see this one, nice, and it's got 4 hooks on it, and net lead up the front. Probably could put 2 on it depending on the size of the bait, and a nose cone and a squid. Like I said, this one I used to use for garfish, so I'd rig this up if I'm going to go trawling gar for mackerel, which is awesome. Deadly baits for mackerel. Okay. What I was going to say with this rig, guys, you can adjust this rig to fit so many different baits. Okay, you can change the size of the hooks. You can put 3 hooks on. You can put 2 hooks on. You can put 2 sinkers on, or 3 sinkers if you've got like a tailor or a bonito or something you want to run for big mackerel. You need a bit of weight in the kill. You don't have to have 1 sinker, you can have 2 or 3 or even 4 if you like, but most people run 2 or 3, and that's usually enough to keep the bait upright and swimming. With the gar, 1's usually enough, sometimes 2 depending on the size of the gar, but 1 or 2, but you can put more leads on as you need them, if you need them. Especially if you're running small tuna and bonito and stuff, you'll need more than 1, okay? You can, like I said, adjust the size of these hooks. You can go down to like size 2.0s and 3.0s and use like 2 hooks or 3 hooks if you want to make this for a pilly and trawl pilchards. You can make this in a smaller version for pilchards. And that's an awesome way to find spotties and schoolies, like small mackerel, and Spanish still eat it. Well, they still smash the pillies being trawled, but so do spotties and schoolies and stuff, so the smaller mackerel, it's a good way to find them. Like I said, if you want to run tuna and bonito, upgrade your hooks, go bigger hooks, go to like 8.0s and 10.0s, and just run 2 or 3, probably 3 leads along it, just for the weight, just to keep it upright. And with the squids on the front, that's only to dress it up. The mackerel, I don't think mackerel seem to care. You can use any colour you like. Most people run pink. Pink seems to be the colour, but I've caught fish on all of them. Like you've got the orange ones here, I've even got brown ones. Now if you don't want to run squids, you can use these tinsel sort of things, put them on the front as well, and they shine in the water and go blue and look fantastic. Things like that, just anything to dress it up. Like I've even got these silly looking things here, squids, just something on the front. The main reason I do it, I don't think the fish care too much, but I do it, I just do it to cover up the nose cone and the front of the fish, that's all. So once again, these rigs are awesome, and you can make them in different sizes. Made exactly the same way, just change the size of the hooks and how many sinkers you want on it. You want 2 sinkers or 3 sinkers, or you want smaller hooks, or you want 4 hooks, or you want 3 hooks, or you want 2 hooks. Depends on the bait you want to run. Okay, but you can change this, and it's fantastic to swim with a lot of different baits. Okay, and when you're making them up, you pretty much run the same thing there, but you put the wog head over the top. instead of the pink skirt. Use, instead of the skirt, put this thing on. And pretty much the same rig. And we are going to make one in a minute, don't worry. And the other one I was going to talk about is just your live bait rig. That's the basics live bait rig. There's a few different ways you can make this, but you can see treble at the front, the back. I've got a small inline, I don't know, that's a, what a hook, that's a little high booster or something, one of these things. Inline hook at the front. This is a piece of, put it through the nose of the live bait. Now it's got a little tiny sinker and a swivel cramped on the end. So I tie this on, put a yakka or a slimy or something, this through his nose, throw it over, drop over the back of the boat while you're in gear. Just slow trawling. You don't need to pin the treble into fish. Some people do, but the treble usually falls out when the tail kicking, just wobbles like treble out. But as you're moving along, the treble will come up to the bait fish and just trail behind anyway. So you just need to pin him through the nose. And 99% of the fish get caught on the treble, hanging off the back. Easy way to use a live bait rig. We'll even make that as well. Okay, so let's start. That's a nice little car. Anyway, as I was saying before, to start, I'll make one. So I've got some hooks here. I've got 6 O's. So I'll just open it up. I'm not going to make them all up, the hooks all up, because I've run out of net leads. That's what they're called, those sinkers. They're just net leads. They're what you use on nets. They come, they're open, they're split, and when you put them on your hook and you use your pair of pliers, just squeeze them on, just work them on slowly with a pair of pliers. They squeeze on easy, they're not hard. But what I was going to just show you is just with your 7 6s, your mustard hooks, how easy it is to open the eye. So you got the eye, you got side cutters. You don't need special pliers for this. Just put it in there gently and just open it up. They open really easy, and then you can like pull the hook out a little bit, not too far, just a little bit, and you can see the eyes open right up there. How simple is that? Make gang hooks. I'm just going to show you. I've got the next one there. I'm going to put it through the open eye, slide straight on. Okay. And just with a normal pair of pliers, you don't need nothing special. Just put the open eye one in there and just roll it around. And it closes. Nice and easy. Like that. All closed up. That's not coming out. See? Simple way to make the gang hooks. Then you put another one on there, because this size hook I'd run 3, because this would be used for yakkas, slimies. Yeah, mainly yakkas and slimies for me I'd use on this one. And these are a 6/0, and I'd run 3 hooks. 1 sinker, usually, sometimes 2, but 1's usually enough. So once you got to that stage, you made them. Here's some hooks I made earlier, a lot earlier, years ago by the looks of it. You can see I've got the net lead on the front, 3 hooks. And with this one I was trying something different. I put my 4th hook, you can see there, upside down, which worked really well with the gar. Had these 3 inside the gar, and this last one is just free swinging. So when you rig up the gar, I am going to do a bait video after this on how to rig up baits on these things. I will show you. There's a couple of tricks especially to the gar, and you can get the gar tails kicking, which is really good. Okay, so we got them. I rigged this one up. This is the 3 hook. Okay. Actually, no, I'll go 4 hook. We'll rig up. So got the hooks all rigged up. Let's get some single strand wire. I usually 40, anywhere from 40 to 60 guys is roughly what I use. And you don't need a lot, you only need like a foot long. Sounds like a Subway. So something about a foot, right? I had a swivel here before, so you just want a swivel. I'll use a bigger one so you can see. So I'm just going to put a swivel on one end. What we're going to do here is just a haywire twist. This is going to be quick and nasty. There's my pliers to hold. Just do a haywire twist. Prettiest one, but it'll work. Now we're just with the tag end, you just bend it forward and back and it'll break off. You can put a kink in it and twirl it really fast, but I usually bugger that up somehow, I don't know. So I'll just bend it forward and back a few times, it'll break off. There it goes. Never taken so long. I'm rusty, haven't done it for a while. So hey, white twist to your swivel. Okay, so what we're going to do now, this is just a quick mock-up guys, we've got the wog head. Okay, but here's the catch, people like you can see there, are going to put on that way. That's the wrong way, that's a swivel. Okay, with these things. What you want to do with these things is swivel around and go the other way. So you want to go through the top first, down here. Okay, so that one. Like so. So the swivels, you can see the swivel down there. Now on this end, we've got these things called nose cones. You can get these in pretty much all tackle shops nowadays. They do come in different sizes. You can get little skinny ones like this, which I use mainly on my gar for this, little skinny noses, which I'll put on this. This is a 4-hook. Yeah, it's a garfish rig. You can get stumpier, fatter ones like this, and they're really good when you can put like small tuna on or big slimies or base like that. And then you got one sort of like in between, and you can use them for the smaller slimies and yakkers and stuff. You can get them in different sizes. And that's one thing a lot of guys don't know, they just go looking for springs, but they come in different sizes guys. You can see the shapes. Okay, but we're going to use a long skinny one because we want to put a gar on this one, so we're going to get the nose cone, going to put that on. Hooks were prepared earlier, that's a 4-hook rig for gar. It's got a net on the front, a lead on the front. I'd probably honestly put another lead on this one because the gar, this is going to be a pretty big garfish rig, so you want a nice big, the nice big fat gar, not the small little skinny pencils. So I'd probably put 2 leads on this one. And then same deal on this end, put the hooks on the wire, another haywire twist. But the catch is with this end guys, you don't want to break this end off. You don't want to break that off, you want to leave that on, okay? And the reason being is so it holds the bait, because that's what your cone goes around. Your cone will go down over the nose of the fish, and then you'll just curl it on until it's nice and snug on the bait fish. And that will sit there like so, okay, on your hooks, nose is up in the cone there. That's it, that's your rig, it's pretty much made. And now, what we do is when we go to fish, you just slide the wog head down over the nose cone like so, and over the nose of the fish. There's your rig. That's going to have a nice big juicy gar on it. And in the water, that's going to go along. Obviously all the feathers are bent back over the gar, and all that's sticking out of the end of this is a gar tail. And if you rig it the way I'm going to show you how to bait it up in the next video, you'll see the gar tails actually kick. There's a little method to that. So that's it. Not hard, eh? Not hard at all. And exactly the same method if you don't want to use a wog head and you just want to use squid. Same method, same thing. Okay, but just put little squids on there. Or put your tinsel on there if you prefer tinsel for where you are and chasing mackerel. It doesn't matter. Just something to go over the spring and over the nose of the fish. Okay? So swivel one end, hooks the other with your nose cone. Very, very simple guys. And like I said, I'll do another video shortly with bait. I'll rig up some baits for you. I'll show you how easy it is and what they look like. They look pretty cool. Okay, next one is live bait rig. So this thing. So you got treble on one end, inline hook, a little sinker. That's it. And for that one, we'll be running a multi-strand wire. I like to use multi-strand. Some guys still use single strand for that. I prefer multi. I prefer to give me bait a bit more freedom. Okay, but you can go either way guys, it doesn't really matter. And with my multi, I can sort of cheat because the middle hook there, where you put through the nose, your little one there, I actually just snell that with this multi-strand wire. So once again, we get a foot of multi-strand. And being multi-strand, I need some decent pliers to cut it. Like that one. They didn't cut. Okay. And some little crimps. So I've got some little crimps here. These are little mason crimps, double crimps. They're like the two doubles. I like the doubles, they work well. This one's very easy to make as well, guys. It really is. You want a number 2 treble. What are they? It's Tsunami, Sesame, whatever. I don't even know where I got them. They're old. But anyway, nowadays if I was making these and going out for a fish and these are my proper rigs, I'd be using BKKs. It's pretty much the only hook I use nowadays, apart from a few Gamakatsus. So what we're going to do with this one, guys, is we're going to crimp a treble on one end. So I've got my treble. You can tie a Flemish eye in it if you like. I will tie a Flemish eye just to show you. So go through, make a loop, go through a loop again like you're tying a granny knot, then go through again. It's a granny knot, and then you just slide down like so until it's a nice little loop around the hook. Hopefully you should be able to see that, I hope. Slide the crimp down. Make sure you get the right size crimps, guys. So if you're not sure, ask the guys in the tackle shop to set you up with the right crimps for the wire. Crimp them down. Okay, so she's all just crimped down. You can cut the excess off if you want, or you should. You just need a good pair of pliers to cut it off. Okay, so excess is gone, like so, just a treble on the end. Now, you can use little inline hooks, okay? Doesn't matter what brand it is. That was the last one, that's a Hayabusa one. You can see that one's gone very rusty, so I won't be using that again. But last time I was using these type of rigs, I was using SL12s. So once again, inline hook. But I was using smaller than this. Go down to like a little 2.0 or something, and it's fine for this rig. It only needs to hold the bait on. That's all it needs to do. It's just hold the bait. So you get yourself a small SL12, like they're what, 6.0s. I'd go down to a 2.0 or a 3.0 or something small. It's just to hold the bait, because most of the fish are caught on your trebles. Now with your second hook, this is a little bit bigger than I'd use, but you get the idea. Adjust it along to whatever size. That's about the size of a yak I'd run. About yay. Now I'm just going to snell it with this soft multi-strand wire. It's a soft multi-strand, so I can actually snell it. Hey. Snelled on there, that's it. Next bit is just a small sinker. Have I got a small sinker? Should have a small sinker. It's small enough. Just a small bit of weight just to keep his nose and stuff under the water while you're slow trawling. This rig, once again, guys, it's just for the boat that's, you're just in gear with this rig. Just trawling in gear with all these rigs. Just in gear, that's as fast as you're going. So there's that rig there, and on this end, you can crimp a swivel. Put a crimp a swivel on, okay? And there's your live bait rig. So you put this hook through his nose, that's all it's holding the bait on. When you're slow trawling, the treble will come up and just sit under the fish. You don't need to pin it in any, and just, that's it, drive around like that. That's a good way to get mackerel with live baits. Live yakkers and slimies. Tailor, legal size tailor. Yeah, anything like live that's legal size and mackerel eaten. Okay, that's it. Very, very simple, very quick, not hard. Now, when you're using these rigs too, we are trawling either live baits or dead baits, or sometimes both together. Sometimes behind the downrigger, sometimes just as is off the back of the boat. Your call. But what we're looking for is bait balls offshore, especially over summer for the big Spaniards. We're looking for bait balls, and when you find bait balls, you're trawling these things around. So these are just subsurface, they're only just under the surface when you're trawling these around looking for bait. When you find bait, if bait's like 20 metres down, 30 metres down, 10 metres down, pull your boat out of gear. Let these rigs sink down. But here's the judgment on your side, on your part. You need a bit of judgment. If you let them sink too far, they're going to hit the reef or the rocks or whatever's on the bottom and probably get you snagged, and you're going to lose your rigs. So let them sink down for a few seconds, judgment call here, and then drive away. So what you want to do, say your bait ball's here, you're driving past, you find the bait, you see the bait on your sounder, pull the boat out of gear, you'll see these rigs will just sink. Let them sink down, let them sink, and then put the boat back in gear, drive away, and the bait ball's here. Hopefully these baits will go through the bait ball or near the bait ball and just drag back up through them, and as it's coming back through past the bait balls down deep, that's when you get strikes. That's when you'll find some good mackerel. Okay? Or the other way is use your downrigger. Put your baits down at 20 metres or 30 metres down and just leave them down there and just continuous troll. But if I'm using the downrigger, I'll have my live bait on the downrigger trolling around, and I'll have a couple of dead baits in the surface. But I won't stop. So I'll have baits up high and I'll have a live bait down deep. And I'll be trolling that way, but I won't stop, because if you stop the live bait down on your downrigger, it's going to swim around and probably tangle the bugger out of your live bait ball, your downrigger and stuff, and that's going to snap you off. So if you've got a downrigger down, you're trolling 20 metres or 30 metres or whatever depth you set it at, still put a couple of pillies out, or garfish or slimies or whatever you want to run on these bigger rigs, this rig, and just have them swimming just under the surface, but have a livey down on your downrigger. Cover 2 areas. That works fine. Just don't stop with the downrigger, just keep going. And if you find bait balls and you don't get a strike in your first pass, don't drive back straight through it. Here's the other tip: don't drive through the bait ball, go around bait balls. Keep your bait on the outside of the bait ball. If fish are going around the bait ball and all of a sudden there's your bait going around the outside, like, that's easy pickings. It's a bait by itself, it's easy pickings, that's going to get knocked off. Okay? So don't go and hide your bait in amongst the big bait ball. Keep your bait on the outside of the bait ball and trawl around. It's easy pickings for the fish. Well, that's a bit of a long one. I've yacked on about that one, eh? Anyway, guys, I'm going to say, if you like what I do with the videos, please subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it. It does really help the channel out. And I'm going to say thanks for watching. I'll see you again next week.